My name is Isolda T, and I'm super happy you're here. Here's where I explore creativity, business, and the business of creativity. Today, I want to talk about what I promised in yesterday's episode that I would talk about skydiving. Yes, skydiving. And the lessons I learned when I decided that I was going to do it. On my 43rd birthday, my husband did what I love to do. He agreed to go with me to Key West because it's one of my heart homes. If you've never been, I highly recommend you check it out. He agreed with me to go and celebrate down there, which is fabulous. And I sprang a surprise on him. Honey, I said, I want to do something special. He looked at me with his big, beautiful blue eyes and he said, What? And I said, I want to go skydiving. Now you have to understand something. He has a fear of heights, but he also never backs down from a challenge. So we decided we were going to go skydiving. We figured out a way to get to Sugarloaf Key, and we went. Now picture this. You're in a Cessna, a very small four-person plane, except for there are no seats. So you're sitting on the floor. And then you realize as you're climbing that you can see the ground below you, not out the windows, but through rust spots in the plane. Beforehand, before they take you up, actually, they take you through all of the things that you're going to have to do when you're up there. They talk about how you should hold your body, what the hand signals are. You watch a video on the exact things that are going to be happening and how they pack the chutes and everything. Now, you have to understand something. Your first jump, you don't go by yourself. You go in tandem. You are strapped to someone's front. They are strapped to your back. And the big thing is, you're hoping that they know what they're doing because you can't see behind you. Now, why is that important? Picture, if you will, me. I'm on the plane. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm watching us climb, and I'm going, I can do this. I can totally do this. I've wanted to go skydiving since I was a kid, so by gum, I was going to. And when they said, okay, we're about to level up at 10,000 feet, I went, wait, what? And everybody jokes about the words, what are you doing jumping out of a perfectly good airplane? And in fact, they say that when you're learning what you're supposed to do when you're about to jump. Though that's the quote. What are you going to do? Why are you jumping out of a perfectly good airplane? And the reason you have to have inside your own head is because I can't not, because I want to, because I have to. Those are the ways to go about it. So here I am at 10,000 feet, and the guy's strapping me in, and he's giving me all these instructions. And he goes, okay, so here's what we're going to do. There's a platform outside the door to the plane, and you're going to sit half in, half out of the plane and put your feet on that platform. And I think to myself, I've got this. I feel courageous. I can totally do this. So there I am, about to put my feet out on the platform. But they haven't opened the door yet. And as soon as they do open the door and I go to put my foot out, the wind grabbed my leg and went whoosh, and I almost fell out of the plane. I was really happy at that moment that the guy was attached to my back because I would have fallen out of the plane. And here's the thing, it's about trust, right? Because I had to sit there, figure out while this guy's attached to me, while the wind is trying to grab me and chuck me out of that plane, how to get my limbs working again and put my foot, first one and then the other, out on that platform. So there I am, half in and half out of the plane, feet on the platform. And one of the things they tell you that you must do is you absolutely have to keep your hands, your arms crossed in front of you, crossed over your chest in front of you. And here's why. Conveniently placed in the doorway are these two handles, one on either side of the door. What do you want to do with those handles? You want to grab those handles. Why do you want to grab the handles? Because you're about to jump out of a perfectly good airplane, right? So there is a part of you that's going, what on earth are you trying to do? Or actually, what in the sky are you trying to do, right? Are you crazy? So there I am, feet firmly planted on the platform. Wind is trying to grab me and chuck me out of the plane. And instead of grabbing onto those handholds, I'm trying to do as instructed and keep my arms crossed in front of me. And that trust factor, that I really hope that guy knows what he's doing, is shining in me like gangbusters. I'm at this point starting to go, what am I doing jumping out of a perfectly good airplane? I know I've wanted to do this all my life, but this is crazy. And what's really fascinating is I had to talk myself down past that fear, because otherwise I'd have stopped it. And here's the point. So the guy goes, he's behind me, and he goes, all right, I'm all attached. We're about ready to go. We're going to go on 3. Are you ready? And I go, yeah. And he goes, 1, push. And he pushes me out of the airplane. And this was wholly unexpected. But I figured out later that you grab on. If you wait till 3, people grab on. And I asked him about that, and he said, oh, yeah, people grab. And the problem with that is that if you grab right at that last second, you fly. Your arms stay in the plane. So, yikes, that wasn't good. So I kept my arms doing what they were supposed to be doing, and he surprised me, and we went. And here's the most amazing thing. First of all, Key West is said to be the most scenic jump in all of the United States of America. I don't know if that's the case because I've only done it the once, but I imagine it might be because it is gorgeous. You have all of these keys below you, beautiful, beautiful, lush, verdant landscape, all surrounded by turquoise and azure blue water. I mean, stunning. However, that's not the first thing you see. Here's the first thing you see. When you jump out of the plane, you go backwards. So there I am. The only thing I can see is blue sky and the plane rapidly going away from me. And there's a part of your brain that's going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, holy crap, holy crap. And from what I understand, watching the video of the jump, I was screaming the entire time, just a wah, right? And so you watch this happen, and what happened to me was I realized I had absolutely no control. In that moment, at that time, zero control. And I'm a bit of a control freak, so it was life altering to be in that situation where I found myself with no control, period. None, zero. And the only thing I could hope is that, the guy behind me knew what he was doing. He'd packed his chute well, because he doesn't want to die. And things were going to happen the way they were going to happen. In the meantime, we're flying, falling, and all I can do is grin. Because it was incredibly clarifying and it was incredibly freeing to realize that in this moment, zero control. And on the other side of that fear is freedom. It's incredible how much you go, yeah, wow, no control. And on some level, none of us have any control. All we can do is the best we can do. And it reminds me of that quote from the TV show Angel, of all things. In the show, he says something along the lines of, if nothing you do matters, then all that matters is what you do. And it kind of feels like that. If you have no control over anything you do, over anything that happens, then the only thing you can control is what you do. Isn't that interesting? Because that's it, you know? And it's freeing, and it makes you release the fear. It's just no longer such an issue because anything could happen. And so when I was in that free fall, anything could happen. And I was invincible. No matter what happened at the end of that jump, in that moment, I was invincible. That was it. So once the chute opened and I got to see the lay of the land, I was able to just relax and fly. And it changed my life. When we got down to the ground, I asked the guy why he does it. And he looked at me and he said, because of people like you. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, oh, you needed this jump. And I said, how do you know that? And he goes, because you didn't stop smiling the entire time. Even when you were screaming in free fall, you were smiling. And he was right. I was smiling the entire time because I found such freedom after the fear. After the fear was out, after it was gone, all I had was freedom. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode about my free fall, fearless freedom adventure on my 43rd birthday. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to the podcast or please leave a review. I hope to hear from you, actually. If you have a moment in your life where things got clear and where you found yourself on the other side of fear, I'd love to know what it is. Alrighty, until tomorrow, my friends, I send you all my love.